Hey, thanks for joining me today. This is Howie at Cedar Creek Homestead, and welcome to Cattle Talk today. I hope you're having a wonderful day. And um, my little talk today is in regards to taking care of your pasture, and I'm fixing to add a little fuel to my old tractor here. I do have another tractor with a cab and with the air conditioning and all that. Looks like we're trying to get a little rain come in here, and it's kind of cooled off today. It's been really hot. It's still warm, plenty warm, but with this kind of overcast skies, makes it feel a lot cooler. So I come home from work and I thought I would get out here and brush hog a little bit. This old tractor here was my great uncle's tractor. He bought it new in 72, I believe it was, and now I have ended up with it, managed to get it, and it is a Ford 3000, and it has really worked. My uncle really worked it, and when I got it, I had to do quite a bit to it to get it kind of back in working order. The freeze plugs had went out of it and all kinds of different stuff. I had to put a new head gasket on it, but after I done some work on it, this old dude just started and runs great. It don't look pretty, but it gets the job done. It don't use a lot of diesel. But one thing I like is because I don't have a cab on it, I don't have to worry about the limbs and things out here in the pasture. There's a lot of trees, and these right here behind my house I have kept trimmed back, but there's a lot of places along the creeks and stuff that there's low-hanging limbs. If you have a tractor with a cab, of course, you get all that hung up. But anyway, that old 6-foot wide brush hog I put on here, and this old tractor does pretty good. I rotationally graze my cows, and really the only purpose the reason I'm doing the brush hogging is because of weed control, and that's the subject of today's video, is what you do to take care of weeds. And you know, there's statistics out there. Boy, I'm having trouble speaking today. But anyway, they say so many, every weed will use enough nutrients for so many pounds of grass. You know, they can use these things now, and I don't have the exact ones just off the top of my head, other than to tell you that I don't like weeds in my pasture. One way you can take care of weeds is spray. You can I've got a sprayer in the shed here I spent a lot of money on. You spray for weeds. The thing that I was spraying was Graze On Next herbicide. So you spray that, and it kills your clovers, your good grasses too. Some things that I consider good grasses. Now it leaves the Bermuda grass and the fescue. It also, if you want to plant ryegrass, it kills that out. So ryegrass won't sprout. I've tried sprouting it in the fall here, and it won't come out, and it was because you've sprayed it. And I'm also got a thing with chemicals. I think we should not use chemicals unless we have to. You know, they're spraying Roundup everywhere. I'm not a Roundup freak where I'm so scared to death of Roundup. You know, oh, cancer. There's so many things that cause cancer, and it has not been proven yet that Roundup causes cancer. So, in my opinion, it's okay, but you can't spray that out here on the weeds or you kill all your grass. And I also believe with any kind of chemicals, the least amount you can do and get by, the better. Anything. There's no way that man-made chemicals could be good for you anyway, whether they cause cancer or if they cause liver failure or whatever. Chemicals, you know, cannot be that good for you, and as people spray more and more chemicals. So anyway, but it also kills beneficial grasses out, spraying that. Now there's others that I hear you can use on your pasture, and they sell them at the local farm store, different kind of sprays you can mix that's not supposed to be super hard on your clovers. But so what I'm doing now is spraying a little bit around my fences areas that I can't get to control the weeds. If you allow the weeds to go and make seeds, and you let them go and go and go, you'll be like a lot of folks around here and have tons of weeds. And I'm getting some patches over here that have a lot of weeds. If I have to, I'll maybe spray a certain pasture each year and rotate around instead of spraying all of my pastures. There's about 200 acres here, and if you spray everything and you kill all of your clovers and things, and I think God produced the clovers and the different kinds of grasses for our benefit. So the more better we are, the more we take care of our stuff, what God's given us, the better off we are. But I think some spraying is beneficial and helps. But I used to spray here every year. And I'm like, I don't know that that's a good thing to do. So I've started now where I don't spray everything every year. I will mix up one probably tank of spray. It's like a 600-gallon sprayer, and I will go along the fences and up in areas that you can't get the brush hog to. You can set the thing to spray up in there, but to control the weeds. And also it helps control the brush. But I have found that now, if this time of the year, if I'll brush hog out here and knock the weeds down that are here, it really seems to help. It'll look so pretty, and the weeds right now won't have time to come back before spring. So anyway, I'm going to put a little fuel in the tractor here and fill it up with diesel, and kind of get around here and get ready to go do some brush hogging and show you a little bit of that. If you've never brush hogged, brush hogging is just another way to control weeds. Some say the expense too. I was going to mention they evaluate the expense and say it's so much per acre to brush hog or so much per acre to spray, and they say it's cheaper to spray, and they really, I don't think that's in my place here. I can brush hog very cheap. I've got an old tractor that's paid for, an old brush hog that's paid for. I have a tractor with air conditioning if I want to hook that up. I actually enjoy being out on this thing in the open air environment. This old tractor, I put new tires on it last year. It's the first big expense. I spent over $400 on 2 tires for it, but I bought good tires, quality. Those should last the rest of the life of the tractor. The old ones was getting where they was cracked and split, and it's got sort of new ones on the front. It wouldn't hurt to put some new ones there, but the old thing's paid for, so all it's really costing me is diesel and my time. And also, this old tractor, one of these days, it may just quit. You know, it's almost as old as I am, or it's almost as old as I am. I guess is the proper way to say, almost 50-year-old tractor, but it still runs good. And oh, by the way, they have these on Craigslist all the time in this type of shape, or maybe some may look better, for $5,000 or more. And I have thought about taking this thing and retiring it eventually, give it a whole new paint job, and only use it to maybe pull a hay wagon or something in parades or do different things like that. But right now, it's still a vital part. Also, this old tractor doesn't have electronics, and you can pull it and start it real easy if you had to. Now, so if you had an EMP or something bad happen, whatever, and you didn't have no way to start, my other tractor, it's really got electronics on it and would be hard to get started, but this old rig will start right up. It is dependent on starting fluid, and I hate that. Before, my uncle had gotten us using starting fluid, and then my dad had it, and he got it on starting fluid, using it, and it's so dependent on it. They get addicted to starting fluid, so I have to have starting fluid to get it started. But once it starts up, it runs good, does a great job, doesn't use a lot of fuel. So come along and go with me today, and we're going to chop down some weeds. Well, hey, that's what I got going on this week on the homestead here on Cattle Talk. Pasture management is one of the most important things we do as cattle ranchers. And some debate, are we farmers or ranchers? I say I'm a farmer and a rancher because I'm raising grass to feed to the cattle that I'm ranching. So anyway, I appreciate you watching today. If you haven't already, we'd appreciate your subscription. Our subscription rate's going up.